Welcome back. Stay tuned until the end of the video because we're going to be talking about the upcoming shift in our matrix in this world that we live in and how you can best use it to jump into your desired timeline and so that you can become the best version of yourself. Now, as we know, the earth is changing all the time, continuously adapting and evolving to stuff which is going on the earth and stuff which is going on outside the earth. I know a lot of people will be watching this and you'll be aware that a lot of crazy stuff seems to be going on presently at the moment. But you also have to remind yourself that that's nothing new. Crazy, extravagant, scary things, the threat of something scary isn't new and it goes on all the time. And you can look back to 5 years ago, you can look back to 6, 7, 8, 10, 20, 30, 40. We can go through history and find extravagant, crazy, scary, frightening, worrisome events which have happened. But we're still here, right? We're still here and we're still telling our story and we're still living and we're still loving the world and enjoying the world as best as we can and hooking in that abundance, like using a fishing rod, you're throwing it out there and you're reeling in what it is that you want, your love, your happiness, your excitement, all of our emotions that we feel, we're attracting those in and we can continue to attract those in no matter what is going on around us. I've fallen victim to being worried about the world and about current affairs and global events. I don't watch the news, haven't watched it for years because it dawned on me that there is no good news and the news only makes you unhappy and it treat time for the dog down. Good boy, here you go. It only makes us unhappy and it only serves to lower our vibration, our vibrational thinking, our wavelength, so that we end up pulsating at the low vibe, really low, right on the ground. And that's not what we want to be doing. We want to be pulsating up here, vibrating at this high frequency, because that is the mindset that we need to maintain in order to attract. Yeah, if we think about the law of attraction, we can attract in whatever it is that we've put out. And it's important to remember that we need to stay positive. You need to stay positive no matter what's going on. I stopped watching the news and I would probably recommend you stop watching it. But notwithstanding that, I still know what's going on because in this reality, in this dimension that we've found ourselves in, it's almost impossible to cut yourself off completely. And I'm not talking about that from the perspective that we're weak-minded, so we try to avoid something, but then we end up doing it anyway. We're submerged in this dense, thick, three-dimensional world, and you can set yourself a goal for the next 7 days that you don't watch the news when it comes on the TV, you don't watch any daytime TV where they're talking about current affairs and global events. You don't listen. If it comes on the radio, you turn the radio down. And if it pops up on your feed, when you go on Google, just swipe past it and don't entertain it. Don't even think about it. Now you can do that, but I can guarantee by the end of the 7 days, you'll still know what's going on in the world because people at work will be talking about it. People on the bus, people on the train, people stuck in traffic, past the bus stop, friends, family, you'll be getting messages on WhatsApp. You'll be getting emails about it. You'll go out and meet up and socialize and people will be talking about current events and current affairs because most people have been snared into this mindset where actually people think that they're well informed about the world because they're watching the news and they're getting involved. Some of the lowest vibrational people out there and mindsets and personalities that we want to be avoiding and staying clear of, they're in that position because they have strong views on a world event or a current affair. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're far left, you're left, in the center, right, or far right, you have a strong view on anything which is going on, and that's low vibrational thinking because you've been snared by reality. It's thrown you a bone and you've gobbled it up. Reality throws out hundreds of different bones and snacks, excuse the analogy, every day, and we're just gobbling and feeding ourselves on them. And we choose which flavor it is that we want to taste and what flavor it is we enjoy, and we keep eating it. Now, it doesn't matter what affiliation you belong to or what belief system that you belong to, the world will throw you what it is that you want. If we want something negative and which isn't going to be serving us purpose, then the world, reality around us, this matrix will continue feeding it to you. If we think about alternate theories, there's no shortage of ideas and theories. They're evolving all the time. One theory turns into another theory, and that turns into another theory. And by the end of it, it's nothing like the original theory. And then we can almost say to ourselves, well, what's next week's alternate idea, alternate ideology? Because there will be one, because that's reality throwing it and feeding it to us. And we just keep gobbling it up because we love it and it confuses us. We get distracted to the point where we don't know where the snake's head is and where the snake's tail is. We don't know where it starts and where it ends. Most people out there that you know, friends, family, colleagues, these people are all stuck in the low vibrational mindset. And if you're watching this, then there's a high probability that you're not. And it might not be that you're buzzing at the 5-dimensional up here frequency. You may be somewhere in the middle. You may have just stumbled across this video and you've never heard of any of these phrases before, which is good. You can do some research on that. Together, we can raise your vibe so that you're not worried and you're not concerning yourself with a lot of the nonsense which is going on. And it is nonsense, to be quite honest with you. This is something that a lot of people haven't really thought about. And that is that almost all of the news you hear will never actually have any effect on you, ever. Now, we'll talk about that another time because that's another video. So we're going to get on to this upcoming shift, and it's linked to what I've just said. We know it's coming because when the world starts going extra crazy, like it has been recently, that's a supernatural sign, a bit like the phases of the moon. Different phases of the moon put out different energies. That is a supernatural occurrence. When the world starts heating up and we start getting these pinch points and reality is serving you up all this fear, that's a distraction. It wants you distracted on the world events, on the current affairs, so that you lose touch with yourself and you don't discover your true self and your true purpose and what it is that you're here to do. Things are getting crazy at the minute. That's a signal that a big shift is coming, right? You need to be prepared for that shift, for that timeline shift, so you can jump into your desired timeline and your desired state. If you're watching this, you should already have been thinking about it. This shouldn't be something new, but if it is never too late. We all start our journeys somewhere. We don't enter this world with all of this gnosis. The gnosis is there for us to discover. There are breadcrumbs out for us, but we choose to ignore them. Most people choose to ignore them, but that's not you. You're not choosing to ignore them because you're watching this video and you're interested in this subject and in this topic. So the world's going crazy. That's a signal that a shift is coming because reality, the media, the world around us wants to obscure the shift so that you're focusing on something else. Now, there's something big happening early next month in the USA. I'm not going to go into details about it, but you're going to know what I'm talking about. That is going to be a major distraction for shifts which are going on. So we need to ignore the nonsense. We need to tune out of things and subjects which aren't going to serve us and they're not going to help us and they're not going to make us feel any happy. All they do is make us angry, and they are designed to generate an emotional reaction. We're not going to give reality the benefit here. We're not going to give them our emotional reaction. We're going to keep our emotions to ourselves. We don't want anything else absorbing them or sucking them out of us. Now, that's important to note. We don't get distracted by what's going on around us. We focus on our desires. We keep trying to manifest our future, and we keep trying to manifest our desired state and our desired timeline. In combination of all those factors, we can raise our vibration, become who it is that we want to be, live the life that you want to live. What I was just talking about the world going crazy, current affairs, global events, seemingly boiling over a simmering pot, these things aren't new. Remember that the earth is changing all the time. It's fluid and it's dynamic. It's like a meandering river. It goes one way, then it goes the other way, then it goes the other way, then it comes back into us. Imagine yourself trying to jump onto a boat or a dinghy or a rubber ring, which is going past this meandering river. You have to time your jump when the boat is next to you. And in order to do that, you have to be the correct side of the river at the same time when the boat comes past. The probability of that happening is slim for most people, because most people don't know what we're talking about. But we're all on the same wavelength here. That's why you tuned in now. If you can get yourself in that correct position, and it's not just a physical position we're talking about, folks, it's a spiritual and mental clarity, right? We've all been through, and we're going through that process of spiritual distillation. We need to make sure that our inner self is healed and is clear and as unfragged as possible. We need to make sure that our mind is clear. It's not latching onto distractions, and it's not latching onto snares which are out there to snare us at all times. And most importantly, we need to make sure that our heart is pure, purified, and it's free, and it's open, and it's like a sponge, and our heart is ready to suck in and absorb and redistribute all of the abundance around us in this beautiful world. And once we've got those three factors all correctly aligned and correctly in gear, you're going to be in the best possible position to make that jump. So I really hope that you've enjoyed our chat today. Please like and subscribe. Liking the video not only helps the channel out, clearly, but it also sends the video to other like-minded people. And a lot of people need to hear this message, and they're not going to be aware of some of the stuff that I've just talked about. Liking it may help send the message to other people who need to hear that message. And there's a lot of people out there lost, a lot of people out there confused and worrying about things that they don't need to worry about. And that's not going to be us, and it's not going to be you. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.